Hey guys, it's Peter Dills and my good friend.
I'm Mike Bingley.
And we have another episode of Straight Off the Menu. And I do believe that this show might just, well, I know we're going to get fed.
Yeah, I kind of have that feeling too.
Yeah.
Just what I need, let me tell you.
Waiting in the wings, get it? Waiting in the wings is our friend David Yost. And he's got a whole bunch of restaurants that he and his family have been operating for the past couple years. And he's going to join us and tell us how business is. But I know one of your reviews today is a report on one of his businesses, one of his restaurants, and I guess business is doing pretty good.
You know, before I knew Dave was coming on the show, I reviewed this restaurant. And this is a great restaurant.
I can't believe you have never been there before.
And we're referring to Central Park Restaurant here in Pasadena. And it's at 219 Fair Oaks.
Yes, 219 Fair Oaks.
And, you know, it's kind of in the Old Town area here. And do you believe they have parking?
Parking?
They got a parking lot.
Parking in Pasadena?
That's kind of like unheard of.
No, free parking.
Well, you know, I went to this restaurant last week. We had a celebration for a good friend of mine, Ann, who was celebrating some milestones in her life. Milestones, I should say. And so, never been there before. I was blown away. You know, I figured, well, I'm going to some uppity place where you get a hamburger, it's going to be $25 or something. No, hamburger's about $12. You know, one of the things that I had was a crab cake tower. And man, it blew me away. It's a tower full of I said crab cake. It's not crab cake. It's crab tower. I misspoke because it's like a crab salad. Okay, it's got avocado salad. It's got obviously the crab, and it has got a reduction drizzle on top. It's all done in this tower. It has a coleslaw on top, and it is just. I'm speechless how good it was. And it was like $13, $13.25 to be exact.
Do you remember what that Central Park used to be before it was Central Park?
It was a warehouse.
It was a what?
I heard it was an old flour warehouse.
I thought it was, wasn't it Soda Jerks?
Maybe. Okay, I was just kind of going by what I read, you know.
Okay.
But
I know somebody that will know.
The reason I say that it was a flour warehouse, that's part of the ambience of the place. It's an old similar to like Rocco's here, but it's very comfortable, great parking, great food, reasonable. They got a short rib sandwich there that is basically it's a melt, and again it's under $15 and it is to die for. My good friend Stuart Johnson tried that, and I had to take a little taste to see how it was.
You got to.
And so anyways, and I know you have appreciated this restaurant, and you really think highly of it.
Yeah.
So you have a favorite there as well?
Well, I like the ahi sandwich. I usually go for lunch. They got an ahi sandwich that is really good. They got an eggplant sandwich that is really good. And they've got a crab bisque soup, $6 or $7. It's right on. There's so many restaurants in town, Mike. We could name a whole bunch, Parkway, Arroyo Chop House, Del Frisco's, that would charge so much more for what you got.
I'm just blown away by it. I really, really didn't expect it. I don't go to this part of town for the reason is usually it's a high rent part of town, and for restaurants to make money, they got to charge you $5 more for what they would charge over in East Pasadena. Right. That's not the case here. Now, I don't know if it's just they have had the building for a long time, or I don't know what the deal is, but to me, I would say it's a hidden gem. You know, I'm very, very impressed. And you know, I know I like a lot of restaurants, but this is definitely, you know, up in my top 10 here in Pasadena.
You know, if you're a wine lover, and which I am, on Wednesday nights.
I saw that. 50%, right?
50% off anything off their wine list.
Now, they used to have, I don't know if they still do, a reduced corking charge on Wednesday nights, and I don't think they have that anymore because they
have the 50%
have their own,
off.
Yeah. And one of my friends was very upset about that, but hey, you can't please everybody.
50% off.
Yeah. So, but we've got a lot of wino friends that really are into corking chargers. They want to bring their own wines and stuff. And
Right.
I think we need to talk about that a little more on our shows.
All right.
Restaurants that have reduced corking charges are reasonable corking charges, I should say. So,
Right.
Well,
I want to give my review before we go to break because Dave Yost is coming in, and Dave Yost owns Central Park and Canoe House, and he's got the gift of gab, so we might have to end the show with him.
Yeah.
So my restaurant is Paul Martin's.
Paul Martin's.
Yeah.
Do tell.
You know what a loss leader is? Like when you go to a supermarket and they have a 6-pack of Pepsi on sale for 99 cents.
Okay, all right.
That's a loss leader. They try to get you into the supermarket with something incredibly inexpensive, and then they get you on the other stuff.
Okay.
But I did a little bit of my own homework at this Paul Martin's. It's relatively new, been open maybe approaching 5 or 6 months now, and they've got a Monday night wine dinner that I cannot find. I got to say, unsurpassed value.
You're taking me to dinner tonight. Oh, how nice.
Well, how do you know it's not Saturday right now?
Well, I just know, Peter. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So anyway, on Saturdays, Mike,
Yeah.
See, there you got me. On Mondays at Paul Martin's in Pasadena, they've got a couple other Paul Martin's in Southern California, and they all have the same deal. But you got to get in there before, I'm going to say this, you got to get in there before management comes to its senses. Mike, for $50, for 2 people, you can select not every wine, but most every wine by the bottle on their menu. They got a little red square on the bottles that you can pick from. But I found a sparkling wine that they normally charge $41 for. I found a Pinot that they normally charge $58 for. And a Merlot that they usually charge $40 for. Now keep in mind, the prices of the regular items are a little bit high.
Okay.
But for $50, you can get most any bottle of wine on the menu and most anything on the entree menu, and it includes a salad.
Wow.
The only thing that you can't get is the New York steak and the...
That's the one I'd order.
Yeah, well, but there's good news on that. There's 2 steaks that you can't get, but if you want to pay the $15 upcharge, basically you could get one of the steaks and it would just bring it up to $65. But
$65.
$65 still for 2 people, Mike.
Oh, for 2 people. Oh,
For 2
okay.
people,
Oh, shoot, that ain't bad.
a New York steak, and then we ended up getting a skirt steak that's normally $30.
Yeah.
And a pork chop that normally they charge $32 for. Bottom line is, it's one of the best values it's one of the best values that I can remember having at any restaurant. $50, two entrees, a full bottle of wine, and you start off with a dinner salad. We ended up getting a dessert. They charge you a little extra for that, but $50, you can't go wrong.
Where's this located?
It's actually located on South Lake, just below Del Mar in Pasadena.
Paul Martin?
Paul Martin's, they call themselves an American Grill.
Okay.
Are you familiar with P.F. Chang's?
Absolutely.
Same group of people.
Oh, okay. All right. So, on a regular, they open for lunch and all
They're
that?
open Monday through Sunday. They have a fish and chips on Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday they have 2 special menus. They've got a really good happy hour from I think 3 to 6:30. If you're looking for values, which we always are, this is a place where I guarantee you, if you look hard enough, which I usually do, you can find a real good value at Paul Martin's in Pasadena.
Okay. And if you're watching this on the internet right now, please feel free to give us a little ring in here.
Chime in.
And chime in, because we do have the voice of God that will repeat your question, and we'll do our best to answer it. And in just a couple of minutes here, we're going to have David Yost come in, and
he brought food.
And he bought food, and he knows food, and he knows these restaurants, and
You're going to ask him why he closed Beckham Grill.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm going to get in his ass. But I'm going to. Yeah, I love Beckham's. Beckham's is one of my favorite places.
Well, but we'll find out. Maybe he has a suggestion where we can get
absolutely
the same great prime rib that they used to have.
As a matter of fact, what I understand, it was one of the dishes that he brought was originally made at Beckham's Grill, and I thought it was to die for. And you and I have had this dish when we did a show about 5 years ago. You and I, for another channel, and that was one of the things they brought out, and you'll see it in a minute.
Mumbles came by.
Yeah, oh yeah, and Gerald came by, and, a lot of people, a lot of our regulars, and. Anyways, I'm going to try Paul Martin's, and one thing I wanted to say is the Central Park is open for breakfast too. So if you want a breakfast place, I think they open at 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. You might want to check on that. Because I think Saturdays they're open at 8, and maybe during the week 7:30 if I'm not mistaken. But check. But the menu looks great, and from what I've had, it's dynamite.
You can follow us on Facebook. Straight off the menu.
Straight off the menu.
Straight off the menu, and my radio show is on AM 830 KLAA on Sunday afternoons, right after the Angel game. You want to take a break?
I think it's time to take a break.
Take a break, and when we come back, let's talk to David Yost.
Okay, we're going to break. Welcome back. I'm Mike Bingley, and we're here at Rocco's Tavern in lovely Old Town Pasadena, and we have, of course, our good friend Dave Yost, and of course, the uppity Peter the
Eric Chan.
Beautiful Peter
Where's
Dills.
Eric Chan?
Who is it?
We got a lot of people. This is the most people we've ever had here.
He's our Asian aficionado.
Correspondent. He's our Asian correspondent. But Mike, this is the most people we've ever had in here. It's a sports bar, and there's a lot of sports happening today.
Yeah, it's great. I like it. I like the energy.
Yeah.
And get busy.
Except for the people that are next door. They're expanding the restaurant.
Is that really
Yeah,
the Rocco's?
yeah. They're gonna at Rocco's Tavern. They're going to start having entertainment and girls in bikinis, and
Dave, was the owner of Beckham's Grill, which is closed due to economic things, nothing to do. They sold property or what have you, and
you got to deal with
and you know what? And I'm so upset. It's my most favorite restaurant. I'm not kidding you.
Right.
It was my most favorite restaurant. Anniversaries, weddings, we always went to Beckham's.
Okay.
Where do I go now?
Well, there's probably 500 restaurants in Pasadena.
No. I understand you
Central
got things
Park's
going.
Not too bad.
Okay.
He mentioned that. No, he mentioned that. He just went.
Yeah, Paul Martin's just opened up. People, like that vibe there.
Well, no, he's asking you where he can go for a good prime rib.
Right now, probably Houston's.
Do you have any plans to go? Like, if I wanted to go to Central Park, could I get the prime
Not
rib?
yet.
No.
Not yet. No, we're gonna try to do a new venue over in Glendale.
Okay.
We're taking our old Shakers restaurant and converting it in the next few months, and we're gonna have prime rib there for sure.
Okay.
With Yorkshire pudding and cream corn.
Oh, there we go.
That's it. The Yorkshire pudding.
That's what he was
prime
getting
rib.
at.
That's what I was
Patient.
looking at.
Dave Yost from.
It's cream spinach, the cream corn. That's all I got there.
Okay, well,
I
there's-
never deviated from that.
Right.
That was the deal,
Yeah,
And
that's pretty good.
and then when they changed it years ago, they used to do it in a big pan, and then they changed it to the cups for whatever reason. I bitched and moaned, and why do you guys? You shouldn't do it the other way. Everyone's an expert, and they got to bitch about something. But
Yeah.
But
We hear
still,
it.
that being said, man, it was the best. It was reasonable. The atmosphere was just cool. Because you go into restaurants nowadays, and I'm telling you, you know more about it than I do. You go in there and it's horrifically loud, and I understand they want a vibe and all that. But what I liked about, I know I'm talking stuff that doesn't exist anymore, and I'll leave it at that. Beckham's was kind of cool and quiet and comfortable. You could have your little affair or what. Not that I would do that, but you could.
In case you wanted to.
Beckham Grill had a good run, maybe 37 years. Our group owned it for 20 of those 37 years, and restaurants have a lifespan, unfortunately.
Right. There you go.
We had a couple choices. We could have renovated the place and upgraded it, or go ahead and walk away and try our luck somewhere else. But it had a good run, and there are some people that are sad to see it go. I've had a couple of people come to me and say, you know, we're so sorry, we're going to miss the place so bad. And I look at them and say, wait a second.
You didn't go, I know.
I'm there all the time. I never see you there. It's like, well, my parents were in town. You know, that was their favorite place. It's like, well.
I know what you're getting at.
So anyway, no, everybody liked Beckham Grill. And it was.
Well, let's start in South Pasadena, the Canoe House. You're sporting the Canoe House colors. And it's been open how long?
4 years.
And you had mentioned to me off camera, in the beginning, it struggled a little bit, but now it's doing phenomenal.
I don't know about phenomenal, but we got off to a horrible start. We got killed on social
Why?
media.
Oh.
It was a new concept. You know, are we going to be a Roy's high-end Hawaiian fusion? Are we going to be an Islands? And honestly, we didn't know. We just knew we had a good location. We didn't want to do a bistro, another cafe like our old Wild Time. We wanted to try something different. And so we started out with burgers in a basket and kept it simple, and the customers wanted fresh mahi, coconut crusted. They wanted shrimp dishes. They wanted a bunch of different things. So we started making the changes. We brought in a new chef, and darned after a few years of introducing a good new happy hour, our 555 happy hour, darned if the place hasn't caught on.
And I take credit for the Monday night $5 Mai Tais.
Oh, they're best.
What you did was you walked in, you said you need crushed ice. And I looked at the Mai Tai when we first opened, I said, really?
No, you don't need crushed ice.
You said that.
No, you said that. I said you need the crushed ice, and you go, no, it's okay.
You know.
The real Mai Tai was invented in the 1940s by Vic. Trader Vic. He was in Tahiti. Mm-hmm. True story, Mike and viewers. They were in Tahiti, and he was a trader. He'd go there and whatever he'd get and bring it back, or bring stuff from the States over to Tahiti. And he made this concoction, and one of his female guests says Mai Tai, which loosely translated in Tahitian means excellent.
I had no idea.
Excellent.
Wow.
So all Mai Tai means is excellent.
Well,
like I approve.
Well, they are excellent.
They can be.
Yeah, I've threw a few down there. I used to have a couple coupons. Back in the day, you gave a couple coupons.
Well, that was when
out.
they first opened.
Trying to beg people to come in here
Beg,
for a free cocktail.
Please come in. And then you got to have a Mai Tai. For me, you have to have the float of Myers on top, and then you're in heaven, or back in Tahiti.
Is that a special, a Peter Dills special?
Nope.
That's the way it's supposed to be made.
It's the way it is.
A dark rum float on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been in a while, but man, we were there. I think a year ago was the last time I was there. Man, it was dynamite.
Yeah, it's gotten good.
Now we haven't covered it on our show though. We are kind of
the Canoe House. No, we haven't. We talked about Beckham obviously, and the Central Park, and but yeah, Canoe House, and he also has a diner on Main in Alhambra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell us a little about that.
The 50s diner. We took an old
Mike and I jump in on the
Googie style architecture diner and retrofitted it, put it in a martini bar, and it's been open for 10 years. And you know, Alhambra's happening now down on Main Street. There's 38 degrees, good beer joint, Charlie's Trios. There's a bunch of good places, theaters down there, and so the place is hopping. And we do breakfast, lunch, and dinner there, and a late night menu. So it's been a fun deal for us.
Tell me what this is, by the way.
This is our porcupine shrimp. Actually, this came from Central Park just now. It's actually a Beckham Grill recipe. It's a shredded phyllo dough with a couple of dipping sauces and some coleslaw, and it's just got a nice crunch on the outside and a nice thick shrimp on the inside. And we kicked it off as a special one week, and everybody said they loved it, so we thought, we'll put it on the menu. It's an appetizer.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't. I overlooked it. I would have ordered it when I was there last week.
Yeah, it's just one of the fun things.
You're redoing the Shakers in Glendale,
yeah.
And you have a concept or a name yet?
We do. We've got a Shakers restaurant on Central Avenue in Glendale.
Been there?
Yeah. It's a 40-year-old concept, and it's still open and doing okay, breakfast, lunch, dinner, but the area's grown, and the place is begging for a more upscale concept. So we're going to put in a full bar, we're going to gut the place. We're in plan check right now with the city of Glendale, and we're going to gut it. It's probably going to take 4 to 5 months to do, and we're going to model it more like Central Park in Pasadena. It's going to be breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with each meal period being a little more upscale. Instead of eggs and bacon, we're going to do short rib Benedicts. We'll still do waffles and pancakes and typical omelet dishes, but we're going to have more Moulin Rouge French toast, croissant dipped in citrus batter with chocolate. Well, it'll be a little more upscale. And then lunch, same thing, individual pizzas, some pastas, sandwiches, salads, and then dinner is where we're hoping to do a little better. Right now, dinner over there is struggling, and we're hoping with a full bar and some braised short ribs and pastas, and again, individual pizzas. We should do a little better volume.
Okay.
And the name, I'll just say Central is going to be in it because it'll tie in a little bit to our Central Park location on Fair Oaks in Pasadena, and it's on Central Avenue. And I'll leave the other half out in case somebody wants to come in and cause problems at the city. We'll see.
I can't wait, man.
Yeah, it should be all right. I'm confident.
We're gonna be invited to the grand opening.
We'll do a few fundraiser grand openings. We as a company get off to slow starts often when we open these places, and
Got to figure it out.
I'm confident this one's going to be okay.
What about, let's go back to the Central Park a little bit. Full bar there now.
Yep.
How
Yep.
important do you think a full bar is to a restaurant's bottom line?
If you can afford to buy that Type 47 license, and if you have a place to build it, it makes a big difference, Peter. It's, we've got full bars in 5 out of our 6 locations, and our shakers on Fair Oaks and South Pass, across from Bristol Farms, we're gonna apply for a Type 47 in the next year or so, and see about putting one in somewhere there. It's just, people want to be able to get a martini, a margarita at night.
Now the Central Park, and Mike just went there last week, the bar is more of a service bar.
Yeah. Place is small, and we did not have room to put in a big bar like the one behind me, unfortunately. So it's a service bar. There's a few seats, and you can eat at the bar, but it's mostly just to get cocktails out to the people sitting at the tables dining.
I was amazed by the fact that you have parking at Central Park. That just blew me away. This restaurant has a parking lot here.
He actually.
Now, it's not the biggest, I'll say that,
No.
but I was blown away, and I actually found a place to park. So it blew me away.
It's kind of hit and miss. We could use probably 10, 20 more spots, but for the people that come in early or on the off days, you can usually find a spot.
I don't. You were over there. You didn't hear what I had to say about the restaurant earlier, but I'm going to reiterate a little bit. I was just blown away by it.
Mike.
I really was.
When were you in? Lunch?
I was in there for lunch last Wednesday, and the people were really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to call him a maitre d' for lack of a better term. He was very welcoming. Oh, well, hey, we got a seat for you over here. 5 of you here. Took really good care. Very nice, very professional. Cocktails were dynamite,
a couple lunchtime cocktails.
I knew you were coming in. I told them they better deliver.
I kind of figured. that. We had the short rib melt, and of course I had the crab tower, and
those are good items.
And those I forget what else we had, but there was a lot of really good stuff, and of course the burger.
I like the broccoli salad there.
Burger. And this is what I want to ask you: is where you're at. You got parking. Nice atmosphere. And to me, it's a little bit upscale food, and it's reasonable. How in the hell do you do that?
We got, I guess, a decent deal on rent.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The prices are going up. Everybody knows what's happening with minimum wage. And
right. But you're in the same boat. Everyone's got to do that.
Yeah, we try to work on higher volume and less margin, maybe. But we're consistent. Volume's good there, and we don't feel like we got enough locations, enough volume that we serve to keep people around for the long haul. I'd like to think whatever we're doing now, we'll be able to do it 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And if you raise your prices too much, you can scare some people away maybe.
But Peter and I have obviously been around to many restaurants in Pasadena and San Diego Valley, and actually even out of state in some cases. And I think he agrees that your place blows us away. And I'm just not trying to. I'm not trying to get a free meal out of you, by the way.
Well, you did.
You're going to get one.
I guess I kind of did.
Hey,
no, but I'm really serious.
It's
Central Park.
People like that. Again, though, it took years. We got off to a bad start there. Social media, Yelp, Chowhound. There were a lot of haters out there, and we just evolved. And now, They build up around some apartments behind us, and business is pretty good.
What was there before?
It was soda jerks. It was a 50s
Right.
soda fountain. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was, and then Mike thought it was a flower shop.
Yeah. Well, it had originally was 100. It's a 100-year-old building. It's like this.
Okay.
It's got the exposed ceiling. And,
Yeah. Well, we got to show, and I know we always show this, but in the restaurant itself, we're talking about David Yost. We're talking about Central Park. They've got all those old black and white photos of movie stars and baseball players and Marilyn Monroe and Frank Sinatra. A bunch of old photos. Real nice in there. It's a nice casual setting. The portions aren't huge, but the prices aren't huge either, and that's what makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you? I don't know, these restaurants that give you too much to eat and they charge you too much and you just end up bringing food home unless that's what you like to do. But I got to be honest with you, I don't want to bring food home.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that means a lot to me is I don't mind paying a little bit more money for a dish when it's good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I hate paying a lot of money for something that's crap.
Right.
And from all your restaurants, the consistency, and again, I'm talking old school with Beckham's, the consistency was always there. And I know that's a very difficult thing, because people have.
He's
bad
tired of
days.
you talking about Beckham Grill.
I know. Well, hey, I don't. It doesn't exist anymore, so it does no good. But that's just.
Thank you, Mike. That's nice of you. I got a partner, Randy Hoffman, and it's a group of us. We brought in a new guy from Beckham Grill, Ed Meslovic, and
Ed, you remember Ed?
Ed, yeah.
Not the
Yeah,
mortician.
He's
Ed, that's the guy that never smiled.
No, that was.
that was. Just let that one
leave it
go.
alone.
Leave that one alone.
No, he was nice. Actually, he was really.
It was very nice.
Ed ran the place, and he's going to be running the new place, and he's coming on as a partner, and we've got some experience. So
Yes.
we're going to be consistent.
Great. Well, we're gonna definitely be at your doorstep when
Yeah,
you open.
waiting for that.
I can guarantee you that.
You'll like. We're going to definitely open with prime rib too.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Because I don't want to go to Las Feliz. You know what I'm talking
Oh yeah,
about?
Tam O'Shanter.
Yeah, Tam O'Shanter's nice, but I always got to make a reservation. And it's it's a lot of money. And of course things are expensive. I understand that, but anyway, you know what I'm saying.
We got a lot of equipment to do this show. Mike, we're running out of time. Dave Yost, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Straight off the menu and talking to
Thank
us.
you, buddy. Appreciate
Welcome.
it.
It was fun.
Yeah, and thanks
Now
for
let's
bringing
go
the
have a
food.
beer.
Yeah, let's do that. And thanks to Rocco's Tavern. We really
Yes.
didn't.
Yeah, thank you, Rocco's Tavern, and we're going to be here next week, same time, and be sure to tune in on Charter 188.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Saturdays and Sundays, 3 o'clock.
And I've been saying this. The Time Warner, don't worry, we're coming soon. I've seen it twice in the paper now. It's coming very soon. Time Warner.
Yeah, we started the show in October, and
I've
it
been
was supposed to happen
it's-
next month.
No,
but,
it's now. It's happening. I've sent you the clippings. It's going to happen. We're in Time Warner. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm Peter Dills.
And I'm Mike Bingley.
And that's straight off the menu.